Welcome back to Felix the Cat. Today we're reading chapter 13. Come on.
Felix the Cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. Whenever he gets in a fix, he reaches.
Get a little light on the subject here.
Felix the Cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. You laugh so much your sides will ache, your heart will go pit-a-pat. Watching Felix, the wonderful cat.
Okay. Let's read chapter 13. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting for so long. I had some problems with the YouTube people. Anyway, Felix finds a few fish. A trip in the woods to gather nuts or just to have a picnic was fun. But to get lost in the woods, that was another thing altogether. Just like the babes in the wood, mourned Felix. We're lost. Mommy, Danny wept. Mommy. Being lost was bad enough. Having Danny cry was worse. He's hungry, that's what, Felix said to himself. Mommy, Danny cried harder. I want my mommy. Felix set out on a lone expedition to find something fit to eat. Poor kid, he murmured in pity as he trudged along. I'll rustle up some food for him. Food? Piped up a rabbit from behind a shrub. Food? Ooh, here's where I beat it. The cat marched on without seeing much of anything in the line of eats, until all at once he came upon a brushy bush. There were black lumps all over it. Felix ran up to it in great glee. Oh boy, he shouted. Blackberries! Am I ever a hunter? Why, I wouldn't be afraid if I got lost in the wilderness. I bet I could rustle grub anywhere. He reached out both paws to grab a load of blackberries. But quicker than ever, he reached both paws back again. The blackberries came off the bush all by themselves and came flying after Felix. Oh my gosh, howled the cat. Bees! They followed the cat and lighted on his ears, his eyes, his nose, and everywhere they lighted, they seemed to poke like 100 needles. Yowling with pain, Felix ran, and everywhere he went, the bees went too. Finally, he came to a river. With a leap, he plunged into the water. Sang the bees, but they had lost their victim. They can't follow me here! Ha ha! Laughed Felix. He splashed around in the water. It felt very comforting on all his sore spots. Then Felix remembered. He had started out to rustle some eats for Danny. I better get busy, the cat told himself. Evidently, Felix had dropped down into a school of fish, where they seemed very well behaved. The way they calmly goggled him gave him an idea. While I'm down here, he thought, I'll grab a few fish. He yanked one big fellow by the tail and made a lunge for another. Outside of blowing a few bubbles, the fish made little resistance. Nice little trouts. Felix patted them affectionately. I mean, trout. The cat kept busy until he had collected 4 fish, 2 in each hand. Then he swam ashore, holding the fish tight by the tail. "These trout will cheer Danny up." Felix lifted them high and marched along feeling like a big game guy.
"Oh, yeah,"
piped one fish weakly. "Keep still," ordered Felix. "You're on land now. No fish is allowed to talk here." The tussle with the bees and plunge into the river had turned Felix around. He had thought Danny would be waiting close at hand, but the kid was nowhere to be seen. Strange voices came out of the woods, and rustling, odd sounds. Felix clutched the fish all the harder. "I got a feeling that a bear or something will pinch him," he muttered to himself. Finally, the cat was sure he was being followed. He stopped by a big tree and listened again. Then he distinctly heard someone walking in the woods, walking toward him. "I knew it," he whispered. "Something's coming. I'll hide in this tree." Going up the tree with 4 fish was no easy job, but Felix was a bit scared, and that helped to get him up in no time. Besides, the fish were very still by this time and made no resistance. "Safe!" Felix winked a big wink of satisfaction. "I'll stay up here till it passes, whatever it is," he said to himself. "After dragging my trout all this way, I'm not giving them over for some bear's lunch. Not if I can help it." The minutes dragged by. "I wish it would hurry up and come, whatever it is," Felix said restlessly. "Waiting's tough on me." But there was nothing to do but wait. Meanwhile, Danny had grown restless, waiting for the cat to return. "I can't wait for Felix any longer," the kid said peevishly. "I gotta scout up some food. I'm hungry." He looked and he looked and he looked. There was grass and leaves and trees. "I wish I was a goat or something," Danny reflected. "Then I'd have lots to eat. As it is, I guess I'm just out of luck." Then he came to the foot of a large tree. He sat down a moment to get his breath, and it seemed he heard something in the branches overhead. He picked up a stone and threw it with all his might up into the leaves. "Something's in that tree," Danny said positively. "I hope this rock brings down a pheasant." Then he stood for a moment, looking eagerly and expectantly up at the tree. "Pheasant?" Nothing like it. What the rock brought down was 3 big, fat trout. "Huh?" Danny almost fell over. "Huh?" piped the kid. Then, up in the branches of the tree, he heard a cat laugh. "It's you, Felix!" Danny cried happily. "Oh my gosh! I thought for a while there was some fishy business going on." That's the end of chapter 13. Won't you join me next time for chapter 14? A good deed rewarded. Getting close to the end, folks. I'm so glad you joined me today. We'll see you next time.
Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. Whenever he gets in a fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks. Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. You laugh so much your sides will ache, your heart will go pit-a-pat. Watching Felix, the wonderful cat.